Hey kiddo! Hey, it's me! Sorry I abandoned you like your dad did. I didn't grab milk, but you know what? I adopted a cat! You having fun, Tai-Tai? So, buckle up, gamers, or, ooh, that's squeaky. Or I guess I should say grab your rail pass, or maybe a Deutschland ticket, or a Charlie card if you lean that way. Because today we're diving into the wildest mashup that I'm sure at least some of you have ever heard of. But that really scratches my trans girl foamer brain.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before, higher on the street.
Densha D. So picture this, you've got Initial D, the iconic street racing manga and anime where dudes in souped up cars drift down mountain roads, but now take that high octane energy and slap it onto trains. Choo-choo, y'all. Yeah, Densha D is basically what happens when you take everything you love, or at least know about from memes about Initial D, and cram it into the world of Japanese train simulators-ish. The manga is straight up off its ass wild. Instead of our main boy here tearing it up in his Toyota AE86, you've got Takumi Iroha, who's like the foamer version of our favorite tofu delivery guy. By the way, a foamer, for those not in the know, are people who are really into trains. It was actually a nickname originally given to train people by railway employees in the US, the idea being that these people were showing up with cameras at the rail yard, literally foaming at the mouth because, goddamn, isn't that F3 a sexy, gorgeous piece of engineering? So back to Densha D. What's going on? Well, we're racing trains, of course. And not just any train races, these are intense, drift-heavy, pedal to the metal, throttle to the track, I guess, battles where trains somehow manage to slide around corners like they're cars on a mountain pass. The whole thing is played with that dead serious over-the-top drama you'd expect from Initial D, but it's also totally self-aware, and knows it's ridiculous and it leans in hard. You've got epic monologues, insane speed, and all the melodrama of street racing, except it's Japanese trains. Let that just sink in for a second. Multi-track drifting.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before, higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go.
I don't know who came up with it, but I want whatever they were smoking for sure. And to top it all off, the whole concept was heavily inspired by another Japanese train simulator, Densha Go. This classic game series is like crack for Japanese train enthusiasts, or so I've heard, letting players live out their wildest train driving dreams complete with being sacked for being a few seconds late. Densha Go brought train simulation into the mainstream Japan, and even had its own funky throttle controllers in console. I swear, these things are huge, second to only the Steel Battalion controller on Xbox. So really, it's no surprise that creators of Densha D were influenced by it. Which brings us to the games! The madness did not stop with the manga, though unfortunately as far as I know there has not been an anime. Densha D spawned 5 different titles for PC that took the absurdity of multi-track drifting, turned into a full-on interactive experience. Here's a short bit of info on each, and if you want to skip past the big info dumps, go to this timestamp here. Densha D Lightning Stage from 2010. The first game kicks off the saga by introducing Takumi Iroha. Much like Takumi Fujiwara from Initial D, Iroha is an unassuming guy who turns out to be a prodigy behind the controls. He starts off by taking on local rivals in intense multi-track drifting races as he tries to make a name for himself. Modes include Story Mode, which follows him as he rises through the ranks of train racers, taking on various opponents in increasingly challenging races. Time Attack, where players can test their skills by completing tracks in the fastest time possible, perfecting their multi-track drifting technique. And Versus Mode, which is a 2-player head-to-head battle, so it's kind of in the name. Densha D Burning Stage came out in 2011, just 1 year later. In this sequel, the stakes are raised as Iroha faces rivals from other regions. The game introduces a new antagonist, a mysterious and skilled driver who's hell-bent on defeating him, and there's also an Endurance Mode, which is a grueling test of stamina where players must complete a series of races without a break, challenging their concentration and consistency. There's also a challenge mode which has special races with a unique objective, such as finishing within a time limit or executing specific multi-track drifts. Densha D Climax stage came out in 2012, and by the time this one rolled around, Iroha is at the top of his game, but new challengers arise that push him to his limit. The game's story focuses on him confronting his toughest rivals yet, including some returning characters who have trained and upgraded their trains. This game has 2 new modes, namely Climax mode. I don't need to dive into all of these, do I? You can see the gameplay. All of this footage, by the way, I had to source because I could only get one of these games working on my PC, but we'll get to that. Densha the Rising Stage came out in 2013, and after the explosive events of Climax Stage, God, I can't believe I fucking wrote that. Swiggity swooty. Aroa is now a legend in the train racing world, but the competition isn't over. New challengers from across the country emerge, each with unique techniques and modified trains. The story here explores his quest to stay at the top and the toll it takes on him and those around him. Finally, we get to Densha D's Shining Stage. This is the newest entry in the series and came out a full 7-some years after the 4th entry in 2020. This final game in this series is the ultimate culmination of Aroa's journey. The story focuses on the final races that will determine his legacy in the train racing world. Every rival he has faced throughout the series returns for one last shot at the title, and the stakes have never been higher. Ugh, why can't I speak? I'm going to keep this in just so you can see the process. The stakes have never been higher. This one also has the Shining Challenge mode and the Legendary Versus mode, which are modes with features. That's neat. Okay, that was a lot. I know this all may seem kind of Wikipedia-y, and if you skip forward to this section, hi, it's nice to have you back. But you know, it's kind of hard to find info on these games. They had physical releases as Dojin games, and I wish I owned any of them physically, but unfortunately I'm shit out of luck here in Germany. A starting point for my research here, besides some funny haha train shit posts on Reddit, was the blog Kimmy the Game Eating She-Monster, which links a website where a lot of these games used to be sold digitally, which also lists some stores where they could have been bought physically, though unfortunately I can't get to Japan, and those store links are down, so I had to turn to the backups of these titles on the Internet Archive. Maybe I'm a bit of an idiot, or maybe there's something wrong with these backups, but every single one of these I tried either failed to install properly or had severe issues while running. The best luck I had was with trying to play Shining Stage, and even then, that would randomly drop chugging at only a few frames per second, despite being played on my big, sexy gaming PC that used to regularly wine and dine Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 with decent settings. Thanks to these channels right here for the gameplay source to fill in the gaps, because I'm going to give you a more in-depth gameplay rundown for this one specifically. And I mean gameplay because, fuck, you want me to read? When I first saw this game on several websites, I found it odd how it's sometimes listed as a visual novel. I mean, it's a racing game, right? And kind of. Despite having an English option in the settings, it really adjusts for menus and control instructions. The game itself is filled with manga and manga-style excerpts, giving you all the high-speed thrills of Initial D, by extension the Densha D manga, in a way that at least is nice to look at. But I can't read Japanese, fun fact. It is fun though, at least in short bursts. Multi-track drifting, despite being a meme, is fun to perform. It even has my favorite Japanese train, the Toyota AE86. Huh. It's a good time, the controls are snappy when the game's not lagging, and the cherry on top is how it revels in the sheer absurdity of it all, which I think is a compliment that can be given to the entirety of Densha D. Honestly, I hope we get a sequel series someday, maybe one set in Germany. I could only imagine what that would be like.
The people who do the signals think our train does not exist. Yeah, but we exist. And I hope they find a solution.
Thank you for traveling with Deutsche Bahn. Hi, Tai Tai. Tai Tai, you want to say hi to the internet? You want to say hi to the internet, Tai Tai? So everyone can see that you've been laying by my light for most of this filming sesh? No? Okay. So there you have it. Densha D in all its silly-ass wild glory. It's a series where trains drift, drivers monologue like they're saving the world. Somehow you end up emotionally invested in the fate of a dude who races literal locomotives. Whether you're here for the multi-track drifting, the ridiculous story, or just want to watch railways commit numerous OSHA violations without working for Norfolk Southern, Densha D delivers. So yeah, that's it. This is for real this time I'm planning, is the finale for Stuff We Play. Want to see me? Check out my new channel where I talk about trains, public transport, and all that fun stuff here in Germany. It's cool. I'm hoping to both cover some serious things I care about and be a little unhinged with it. Go subscribe to Tales from the S-Bahn. There's some videos out right now. Thank you very much for watching. stay classy, and I'll see you, hopefully, over there. My camera battery's about to die. That's why I'm rushing. Good night, folks.